Materialism, as a value of capitalism, is sought by so many people in the world today on all levels. People in the United States join this at whatever level they're at, and they seek to control and dictate the life of all others underneath them in the financial chain. The relative rich dictate to the lesser affluent the terms of interaction, and thus inequity continues. And it's actually made more extreme as time goes on. In the United States, the vast majority of people have fully ingrained into this selfish ownership material system. There's been little to consider in choice. A rich person controls corporations. A super rich person controls governments and countries. But even people of less wealth completely buy into the system by doing the same control over their dominion. A person buys a second house and rents it out at the maximum level they can get from society. And they rent it to those less fortunate, less affluent, and those below them. The ownership, rent, house game is, prevalent all over the country. This is how it's done here. And it's reinforced capitalism in the tax system. This capitalism and materialism, when accumulated and restricted from others, is damaging to the spirits around them and to society. It is only a slight improvement from feudalism to capitalism. Control comes from ownership, but ownership is really arbitrary. Land exists before your birth and continues on afterwards. No person made the land, and it should not be owned. You can possess land and objects, but you never really own land. Possession allows others to use things as necessary. Ownership really does not. It is a fundamental life necessity that everyone needs a space and a place to live freely. A place where one can sleep in protection from the elements and beings. And if you can't sleep peacefully, you're going to become sick. Most everyone has so bought into the system. And of course you need money to exist in the system, to buy things, food, necessities, a car, etc. But it is how the truly rich manage humans, much to the detriment, like cattle farms or cattle herds or even sheep and taking their honey. You keep the herd together. You employ some of the cattle to run law enforcement for you, to keep the herd in line, and you get rid of the outsiders, the ones who stick out too much. What the super rich do in forms of government and small places of power is to hire the less financially needy people to sell out their will and be their military. So they exert their controlling and stabilizing effects to retain the materialism of the rich. If a person in this current system, by fate, intuition, hard work, luck, grace of God, makes a fortune, it is always through the help of the other members in society. If you make a computer and sell billions, it takes all other people in society to buy it for you to have this wealth. They must participate with you. This money should not be sequestered out of the society in families and trusts and corporations, but should by vast majority return to the society at one's life's end. And notice I did not say government. You can't take it with you, it's true. In this way, there's diversity in life. Some people, by grace of God and those other examples of hard work or perseverance, have a different life, and creativity is beautiful and diverse, but it also brings it back to society in a certain amount of time. Thus, creative life can be continued in a greater way than things like communism and too much socialism or pure capitalism. And society is not harmed as much by this approach. People are routinely viewing their life in terms of material ownership. What can I get? And seeing greed and graft, all legally enacted or illegally obtained, above the law. So they want the government to have more laws to protect them, when actually they need less laws. They need to replace the laws. They need to replace the system. But one must replace the society view. One must develop the empathy among human beings. And this should be done in actuality, and not just in one's idea or belief system. Not just in word, but in living. Possessions, doingness, maintaining creativity, sharing, and caring, receiving and giving, and doing. These are the action words. The Civil War was fought in a small part over slavery, but now a more than civil war, or I should say, more than a civil change, needs to be made over ownership of people and people's minds, by capitalism and the control of people, and by the material wealth of the super rich. Why are the non-greedy, the meek and the mild people, my people, harmed, abused, and taken advantage of in this world? You need to figure it out quickly, as this civilization has come to its end in its current state. With the current powers running it and the principalities in place, it has reached its fullest potential. Inefficiency and harm to the sentient experience of human beings is too much at this time. It's not the principality alone, but the conscious choice of people participating in it, particularly at the rich level, that is responsible for this damage that is happening currently. You have the choice. Not making a choice is a choice, if that is what you think you can do. You will be accountable for your choices, and non-choices the same. I'm declaring this for all the world, and none of cognizant age will be held unaccountable. Who are you? Decide.